Great blue herons are beautiful birds, and I always feel so lucky to be able to see them in the city. There's something almost prehistoric about them, a primal gracefulness that acutely reminds you that the modern birds we see today are descended from dinosaurs. Although great blue herons have a number of different hunting methods, and are able to adapt and innovate new ones based on the environment around them, they have one most common method that involves a combination of patience, agile reflexes, and an incredibly sharp sense of sight. Their long legs allow them to wade elegantly through various bodies of water, wetlands, and marshes, choosing spots where they will perch and wait for their prey. The heron will often perch as still as a statue in the water, or right above it, with their eyes tuned downwards. It sees what humans cannot, subtle movements and fish flitting by, senses acutely sharpened and tuned towards the task for which it has a near-perfect concentration. One of my favorite things is to stay and observe these moments with these majestic birds. The waiting period is almost meditative to watch, and can last for 5, 10, 15 minutes or more. The fast-paced turbulence of day-to-day life slows to a standstill. Your own breath seems to stop, your mind clears, mirroring the heron's almost inexhaustible patience. A defining feature of the great blue heron is its long, slender neck. Its neck is incredibly aerodynamically elegant, allowing it to move swiftly and explosively through air and water. The S shape of the neck is usually held like a preloaded spring, and in the exact right moment, the spring releases and the neck extends, shooting a long, piercing beak towards its prey like a bullet. It is so fast that you can miss it if you blink. The moment a heron moves to catch its prey is a sudden lightning strike, an art form of agility and precision. Dozens of minutes worth of waiting and calculating, culminating in one split-second action. The heron is able to spear its food right out of the water, swallow it whole, and return to repeat this process countless times. In addition to its neck, the great blue heron is also able to accomplish its hunting feats due to its strong eyesight, relying primarily on vision to hunt. Keep in mind that they not only have to accurately see their moving prey, but also account for the ways water can refract and distort light. They can also hunt at night due to their excellent night vision. Given the importance of a heron's eyesight, it is highly adaptive to have a third eyelid or nictitating membrane, like many other bird species. This thin, transparent membrane moves horizontally rather than vertically, and helps protect the heron's eyes from debris or from possible damage underwater. Great blue herons are incredible opportunistic hunters, which means that they will try and eat almost anything. Apart from fish of all shapes and sizes, herons can also eat small mammals like rats and squirrels, amphibians like frogs and toads, reptiles like turtles and snakes, and more infrequently, small birds. Since herons swallow their prey whole, there have been recorded cases where they have choked to death on animals that were too large for them. To try and avoid this, herons and other fish-eating birds have adapted to eat large fish, more than half the size of their gape, head first. A paper titled Evolutionary Attributes of Head-First Prey Manipulation and Swallowing in Piscivores explains that eating fish this way has a couple of benefits. First, it prevents the fins of a fish from opening up and damaging the esophagus. Second, and related to the previous point, flattening out the fins this way also reduces the chance of choking. Third, it reduces the risk of prey escaping from the mouth or esophagus. Here we see a great blue heron spear a large fish out of the water. It's hard to make out what kind of fish it is exactly, but it looks like it might be an English sole. A quick content warning, the next part of this video contains some blood and gore as the heron tries to position the fish to eat. If that might bother you, feel free to skip to the time code shown on the screen now. In this part, I'm almost certain that the heron was not attempting to kill the fish before eating it, as fish-eating birds often just swallow living fish whole. It seems here more like the heron was trying to orient the fish properly head first to eat. However, since the heron has no hands and only one very sharp beak to manipulate food, and since the fish was moving and falling back down a lot, it inadvertently looks like the heron was trying to kill its prey first. This heron shows the typical way fish-eating birds will orient large fish head first before eating them. A bit concerned about how uncomfortable it looked, I watched the heron for a bit longer after this. In the end, it seemed like it was able to get the fish down and finish its meal without any issue, though it looked like it took some effort to do so. The great blue heron is a remarkably adaptive bird and has thrived even in busy urban environments. Although it can adapt to catch food almost anywhere, contamination of their food source is still a threat to their health and safety. Here in the city of Vancouver and other big cities where great blue herons might be found, bodies of water can be polluted with sewage or oil runoff, which can eventually be ingested by the bird when hunting for fish that live in these waters. It is another reminder to be mindful of our human impact and to adapt to coexist rather than to intrude on the diverse natural landscapes we live in. I do not take it for granted whenever I'm lucky enough to spot one of these birds. They're a reminder of how remarkable nature can be and the great evolutionary histories that have led to me, a human being, crossing paths with this descendant of the dinosaurs, stoically fishing in the waters of the city.